Chloe probably came to us about 3.5 years ago, I'm guessing. It was around about that time, and we probably did some functional assessments and just on-the-fly assessments as opposed to a general benchmark. So it was a little bit of trial and error with her injury. We wasn't sure how she would respond or what sort of limits that she had and things like that. So a lot of the early stuff was trial and error. The basic function when she came in, she was obviously self-sufficient. She was actually coming down with a carer for the first probably 2 months that she started here, and then ended up coming down and becoming, I suppose, a little bit more of the furniture, so to speak, coming more regularly. When she first started, her range of motion on the upper body was quite limited. Her grip strength was, and again, without putting terms or percentages and things like that on it, her fine motor skills through her hands, her grip strength and all of that were fairly heavily compromised. In terms of her upper body range of motion, limited lifting capabilities, her balance in terms of sitting away from the back of the chair was a little bit average. A lot of this was done through probably going into a nursing home environment, and previous to that just with the care, no interaction with either health or fitness professionals, which probably limited her movement for quite a few years there. Leg movement, in particular in the left leg, was quite limited. Right leg was a little bit better. There was a little bit of mobility and strength there, but overall there was, you could see that there was a few little triggers there, but the extent of what we were going to get out of it, we wasn't sure at the time. So, and as I said, probably a lot of that was done not only through her injury, but probably a strong level of deconditioning. In terms of, I suppose, the easiest in terms of the demonstration, Chloe previously would be able to lift her hands to about this level, and now that the function is well and above her head, and the movement of flexion, extension, abduction, all of that is pretty good through her shoulders, through her forearms. Her control is quite good. Sitting forward, as I said, away from the back of the chair was not an event. It just didn't occur. And now she can not only do that, but she's got good forward flexion through her trunk, but also she can extend back up into a seated position. We actually do that as part of it. Moving down through, from a strength perspective, we would look at probably be around about the 1 kilogram that we could lift to parallel in each arm, and now that's probably around about 400 to 500%, and not only to parallel, but again up above the head and with control. We tried some pushing and pulling means, and that's probably improved somewhere in the vicinity of 400 to 500%. Her leg strength, and this was probably something that's a little bit hard to gauge, but again, as I said, her left leg was almost not an event. And while the right leg had some function, we're doing assisted sit-to-stands at the moment, so we can do that, and we've been doing that for the last probably 14, 15 months, that Chloe can now stand up with assistance, as you'll probably see on this DVD or at some stage. That's with a 2-person assistant. We actually, on good days, we can do that with, we've done a sit-to-stand with 1 person, so that will be me controlling the knees and Chloe doing the rest of the assistance herself, like the rest of the stand herself. So that's where we're at the moment with a lot of things. Probably, as I said, crudely, the strength probably improved about 5 to 10-fold in certain areas, and the function's probably improved at least the same. I think obviously it depends on the severity of the injury. There's some people who obviously their prognosis is not that good and their function is quite small. I think one of the biggest things with Chloe's was simply not having access to health and fitness services was a huge issue. Just getting up to speed and doing that on a daily basis was definitely something that she needed. As I said, from a spinal injury perspective, it depends on the injury. So specifically with Chloe, it was just about providing an avenue for her to exercise, and that's opened up a wealth of improvement. From others, there's obviously other people out there who won't have that same sort of improvement.
don't know what's going on, Mr. Summers.